a scout because, yes, it is. You better zoom in on your face for that.
Like the monkey with the cymbals.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing.
All right, anyways, what week are we on? Shit. Week 13 of Buffet Sports Jets Rebuild. We got through a shit ton of games, a lot of one-score games. We're now 7-4. And, great reveal, we're the 6th seed in the playoffs on the first year of the rebuild with Quin Ewers. So give ourselves a pat on the back for that. We've done nothing except for play on...
Has he developed yet? Do we know what his trade is?
We can look. No, he's still hidden. He has...
This game.
Yeah, 30 more downs, and then we'll see what he is. He should be pretty good. I don't know. The last episode I played, and I put up like 1 touchdown a game, so we might be ass. But anyways, we are going to get into the game, start the podcast. I'm Devin. He's Zane. Welcome to Buffet Sports.
I still keep looking up there for the camera. I'm eating and that's hungry.
I'm eating and that's hungry.
I'm just watching Steph Curry just throw my money away. Greatest shooter of all time, just throwing my money away.
What does he have? What'd you bet?
I bet on him to have... He had 0 points in the second quarter.
Uh-huh.
So like, all right, 15. It's 3 quarters. That's 5 points a quarter. It's Steph Curry we're talking about.
Yeah.
He has 3. It's the fourth quarter.
Damn. Is it a close game?
Yeah.
He could go up?
He'll keep playing. Yeah. I think they just pulled him out for his third quarter rest. Yeah, he's not on the floor right now. So he'll be back in to start the fourth quarter, and then he'll probably play the whole fourth quarter unless it gets out of hand, but they're only down by 5. And this game matters for them simply because, like I was talking to you about it earlier today, the fun part about the only part of the regular season, there's 3 parts of the regular season that matter now, and this is it. It's the first 10 games because if you're a young team and when everyone's still getting into rhythm and everything at the beginning of the year, and you're just young and athletic and have energy, you can get a lot of wins at the beginning of the year. Yeah. So the first 15 games kind of matter because if you can rattle off 10, 12 wins, that's an eighth of your season. Yeah. If you go 14-1, 13-2 or something like that as a young team, that is often the decider between making it in the playoffs late year or not. That's the first part of the year that matters. There's a little piece of the middle of the year that matters when now the in-season tournament. That's fun. I think guys care about that because they can make money. So I think that matters a little bit. And then these last 5 games of the NBA season matter because playoff seeding for the most part is or not seeding, but playoffs are mostly set. Most of the time you already know who's in the playoffs, who's not. Yeah. But you get to jockey for position, and you can lose a couple games if you're a better matchup for this seed over that seed. Yeah. You might have to win out so you can get up to try and play this particular matchup. So it gets fun because in these games that shouldn't matter, teams that are already in the playoffs, they still play hard because they want to move up or whatever. In the West, it's always a bloodbath, so generally you're playing almost all but your last game is serious for the last 10. But it's fun when you get into these late season games. These two are playoff teams, both the Rockets and the Warriors. The Rockets want the Warriors to lose because they have a better chance of playing a lower seed, and the Warriors want to jump a spot. They're jockeying with the Lakers right now for the 4. So those games are fun at the end of the year to watch, and also just kind of get a feeling for coaches start tightening up their lineup. What are we watching? Coaches start tightening up their lineup. You start to see the 8-man death lineups for each team and who's important, who's not, and what their roles are going to be in the postseason. So
yeah, it's always more enjoyable when things get tighter, you know?
Oh, yeah.
When things are tight, that's when it's most pleasurable to watch the NBA.
I would say that it's most pleasurable when it's tight and ribbed.
Tight and ribbed?
Yeah.
What would be the rib part of basketball?
The betting.
The betting.
Gambling.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's better when it's tighter games, and then you get to gamble. That's what makes it. So it makes it feel something. Nothing like a good late night sweat. Are we just doing Red Zone Sim right now?
Yeah, and I'm getting my ass kicked. Quentin Johnson hasn't caught a pass all year.
There's my little spiel about state of the NBA right now. What do you got for
going
us?
From the NBA to I guess college football or going to be NFL it's talk of the town. There's basically 3 parts it all ties in. First one, we'll just give you the scenario. Okay. Colorado Buffalo, your favorite team, your favorite quarterback, Sheduer Sanders and Travis Hunter had their pro day. And
my favorite duo ever.
Honestly, if you don't look at the media and you don't look at the comments and you just watch it yourself, I wouldn't say there's much to look at to be like, okay, that was a terrible pro day. It was.
Before you move on, before you keep going, I want to say something about about pro days and workouts and stuff. They mean dick. 99% of the time, they mean dick. Zach Wilson had an insane pro day.
You used to love Zach, man.
I still love Zach. He is not a number 3 overall pick in any draft. In any draft. He had a great pro day. Now, there was crazy circumstances. There is very little.
Same thing with Sam Darnold at USC, going out in the rain and throwing bombs.
Anthony Richardson. They had to move him outside because he kept hitting the roof. Very cool. Or no, that was Joe. Yeah, that was Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, Bazooka Joe.
All very cool things that don't matter. So I just want to preface that. I don't hang my hat a ton on the workouts. Now, if the question in the pro day is like, what's his accuracy like? What does he, even the arm I don't really like because it's a different range of motion when you don't have pads on.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to go in with minced expectation just for everyone out there of knowing how my brain operates when I hear about a pro day. Go ahead.
Give me a sec. There we go, Brees. Let's flip and go. All right. So the main thing, if you were to watch it, you would say, yeah, good pro day. Nothing really to gawk about. But if you look at the internet and you look at what everybody's saying, and specifically there was a tweet from a corner who plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And
it's already begun.
It's already begun. If you watch the tape and you watch his pro day, you'll notice Sheduer, he'll take all of his dropbacks, and then he'll be right here, and he'll tap the ball. Yeah. He'll tap the ball, then he'll throw it.
Oh, she's got to tell.
Basically, that is what the Jacksonville corner said. He's like, you better stop tapping that ball because we're going to break on that early. Here's my thing with that. I really don't think that matters. I don't think that even is... I think that's a made-up tell or a made-up criticism. I don't find it as a criticism at all that he taps the ball.
It is a made-up criticism because they want to hate on him.
Yeah.
Every quarterback does it.
I was going to point into that.
I don't know how good this corner is, being that we don't know his name. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he is not intercepting the ball often.
Yeah, it could be.
So,
very well.
That being said, if I'm Pat Surtain and I say that,
yeah,
I probably has more meaning to me.
Yeah.
If I am Sauce Gardner and I say that, probably has more meaning. Even Jalen Ramsey, a seasoned veteran who was that CB1 at one time in the league, I probably take that with a bit more fervor. But a guy in Jacksonville who may have a solid career,
he might be great.
Better athlete than I'll ever be. Made more money than I ever will. 100%. Most likely.
Yeah, most likely.
I personally, if I'm Sheduer, am probably not too worried about what he's saying.
Yeah, and it's not just him. It's the voices came after he called it out. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a problem. And I just have this, like, I'm not the biggest Sheduer fan. I definitely like him a lot more than you. I've been a doubter of Sheduer's abilities. But the one thing I can't stand is draft rot. I just flipping hate it. I hate the draft rot. And every single time I call out the draft rot, people try and convince me that I'm crazy. The tapping of the ball, that's not real. That's not like a tell. You want to know why? Because I went and looked. I looked at his tape. The amount of times that he taps the ball, it is not how it is when he's at his pro day. It's you're watching it and you're like, that could have been a tap. That might have been a tap, but it's so fast, it doesn't even matter. And then I went and I looked at other quarterbacks. You know who else tapped the ball? Patrick Mahomes, Jane and Daniels, Aaron Rodgers. I have videos of all of them tapping the ball before they throw it.
A lot of people do because
the
whole idea is like part of it is throwing coaches say it's a cue for you to get into a certain position.
Yeah, and you're recentering everything, and not even that. I'm not going to go and grab every single quarterback who's ever tapped the ball and know whether or not that it's been coached out of them or not.
Dude, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, I get where he's coming. I get where the corner's coming from. That's assuming he's throwing the ball your way, though.
Here's the
like
other
thing.
thing.
That's the thing with a quarterback. I can pat the ball as many times as I want. And
you got the same goddamn brain.
like, I can pat the ball as many times as I want, and if you're gonna jump at it, cool. But either way, I can pat the ball as many times as I want. If I'm not throwing your direction,
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. If you are looking for a tell, and my tell is that I'm in a ready position to throw the ball, and I tap it, and that's the tell for you to break early on the ball, we're going to run a stop and go. We're going to run a hitch and go. Hell, I'm just going to put him on a go, and then I'm going to tap the ball 5 times, and then I'm going to throw it.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, though, is like, but again, there can be 2 receivers right next to each other. Yeah. One of them's running a slant, the other one's running a comeback. And if I tap the ball and you break on it, you just look like an idiot. And I throw the slant. Like, especially depending on, I don't know what scheme Jacksonville runs, but especially if you're a zone team, cool. But it's, I don't know. I think especially depending on what offensive line he goes with, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's never going to matter. I think completely dumb. I think anybody who actually thinks that it's a valid criticism, you don't know ball. Just simply because it's just not. It's a normal thing. It's the same thing as.
And maybe we're wrong. Maybe they coach it out of you. But like, I feel like I've seen a lot of quarterbacks for a lot of years that are really good tap the football.
Even like that's the thing. Let's say that every guy that I just brought up that got coached out. There's video proof that it gets coached out. You know how elite of. If it was true, based on what the corner is saying, he's going to break early when he sees me tap the ball. I now have an elite pump fake to where I don't have to get out of position at all. I can just tap the ball, and you're going to break early, and we're going to have a route that we're going to do a stop and go.
Well, but that's the exact reason why it's not real.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's the whole thing.
But, like, it's just crazy.
That's why no one bites on. That's why you don't bite on it, because... And you bite on when the ball is actually thrown, because if that was a thing...
Yeah, that's why pump fakes you... That's why the flipping hand size is so important. Because, like, you have to actually pump fake to get somebody to break on it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was...
Which is something that's interesting. Now that I think about it, like, they've got the mechanic in Madden. When's the last time you saw a quarterback, like, do a full pump fake? Like there's the little shoulder fake, where you're making a read and you're going through, it's like 1 and you come back to 2 and you throw a little like shoulder fake and then you come back to 1.
The last one I can remember was
you pick it.
No, 2 years ago.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That would be it. But before that, the last one that was effective was, I think it was 2 years ago, Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. He dropped back.
Oh, and he did the shoulder flip?
He did the pump fake and then flipped shoulders and then threw the ball.
Yeah.
So I would say that was the last time I saw it was effective. But it wasn't even like a regular, normal pump fake. No. Like, since like...
I've in my brain wants to say Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, yeah, any of those old school guys, they've always done it.
The big guys, the big fuckers. All right, there's 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Curry's on the floor with 3 points, and they are down 6. Let's see what happens. He's 1 for 7 from the field, from the 3-point line.
Fuck.
We might both be chalked. Get it going, Curry.
Okay, so the second part of the pro day, besides that the buffoonery of the criticisms for Sheduer Sanders, which there are legitimate criticisms. That's why it irritates me so much that's what everyone's gonna.
Okay, what are the legitimate ones?
That's not for discussing right now. It's the same. It's just based off
those tape. We don't care about.
Well, his pro day, he had a great pro day. I mean, like you said, like pro days really don't matter. It's all set up for you to look good.
It's a completely controlled environment. That's why the combine matters so much more, and that's why that's why we never had this conversation. But I want every quarterback to throw. I don't care who you are. You Peyton Manning or Andrew Luck. I want to see you throw. I care. I want you to care. I want you to show me you can do what I'm asking you to do in a tight situation.
Son of a...
And pro days are not that.
Just the normal criticisms.
How does his arm...
It looked, there was that
like
video.
No pads. How does his arm...
You remember that video? It was like, oh, Cam Ward's arm really, really pops. He really can zip the ball. Sheduer can't.
Okay.
I think
I don't think either of them can, but
off of the pro day, the ball looked like it had a lot more velocity than the previous videos.
okay.
That
Did he
people were
throw
saying.
deep balls at all?
Yeah, he threw some pretty damn good deep balls.
Really?
But then again, it's guys you know. You know how far they're going to be after your 5-step drop because
Sure.
you've thrown to them for that long.
There is one thing to that though that I do think has something to it that you saying that just brought it to my attention. To a degree, I do think some of the timing and pacing is something that oddly enough I would look at as a scout because yes, it is. You just came. You better zoom in on your face for that.
Like the monkey with
Yeah.
the cymbals.
You better. That is something interesting though, because while we say that it doesn't really matter because they're guys that you know, in a way it kind of does because you want to see what kind of chemistry you have with your guys. Because they are, in theory, you're somewhere for at least 4 years, unless they trade you. You're somewhere on your rookie contract for at least 4 years. So I guess there is an element that I would want to look at as a scout or something of what kind of chemistry does he have with these guys. And the other thing is too is maybe you're able to find a guy. Obviously Jamar Chase is an animal, but like maybe you're able to find a guy who's not that good, but he's Jordy Nelson to Aaron Rodgers because it's Jordy Nelson to Aaron Rodgers.
Don't disrespect Jordy Nelson, all right?
No, but like he's not a physical specimen.
Yeah. I would say
grew up a farmhand.
Even a better one would probably be like Julian Edelman because Julian he had to work like really hard just to get a shot.
I'm just saying like a guy who's been with the team a long time.
Yeah.
Jordy was that. Randall Cobb was that. Although
Hunter Renfrow.
yeah, that's a great one. Hunter Renfrow. So I guess there is. I just say that because I think taking a step back from it, maybe there is an element in that way that I would care about as somebody who's scouting a player. But
Yeah, I would care about it too. And I said it before. It was like, it's like Jalen Milroe had a bad, what the flip is it called? He had a bad,
pro day.
no, not pro day. It was
Combine?
the thing right before Senior Day, Senior Bowl. He had a bad one. And I said it then. It was like, it really
He had a
doesn't
bad
matter
Senior
because
Bowl?
he had a really bad Senior Bowl. And people were ripping him about it. But like, it really doesn't matter because it's just, he's not good at throwing the people he doesn't know. Like, he's really good at throwing to wide receivers where he knows his timing. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
the second part to this is Travis Hunter's portion of the workout. So I'm usually pretty happy about Travis and all the decisions he makes. Like, let me lock in really quick. I'm going to... But I'm usually pretty happy about everything Travis does. Like as a player.
You are a Schmeat Schmucker.
Yeah, I'm a Schmeat Schmucker for Travis Hunter.
You are.
You know, if his girlfriend's not going to do it, somebody's got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Going to Jacksonville. Duval.
But I was kind of disappointed at his pro day because the one thing about Travis is what? He's a two-way player. He plays both sides of the ball.
And did he work out just as a receiver?
Yes. He only worked out just as a receiver, which I thought if you were going to do a pro day, it would have been really fun to see you work out both of them. But
both, yeah. How's his speed look?
I don't know. I don't think he ran a 40.
He didn't run a 40 even in his pro day?
I don't think so. You can look it up.
I hate that.
I don't think he did. I don't think he ran a 40. His route running was pretty good, but again, he is a very lighter man. Like I think he's like 150 or something like that. But he showed up, did his wide receiver drills, no gloves, balled out. Which the no gloves thing is like, eh. I mean, like the gloves help, but it's doing him with no gloves. It's not that much more difficult. But
Whoa!
What?
Oh, never mind. He didn't run one.
Ah.
He didn't run one. I guess Sheduer didn't, but Shiloh ran a 4.52.
Hell yeah.
That sucks for Shiloh.
That does suck. Didn't get invited to the combine and all
No.
that. But
And then he runs a 4.52.
yeah, I am a little disappointed, and at least according to the internet and according to people that talk about football, the reason it was that is he only did the wide receiver drills is because everybody's viewing him as a corner. So he only did wide receiver drills to show that, hey, I can also play wide receiver. Which, at the end of the day, I think it's fine, but...
I mean, his tape as a corner, though, is basically being a receiver.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
basically.
it would be good to see him in some good coverage. I don't know. I didn't watch him, but, I mean...
Yeah.
I
feel
assume-
like... I just feel like this is the showings of the influence that had gotten to him from Colorado. Because I feel like if he wasn't in Colorado and he wanted to be a two-way player and he had criticisms that he could only play corner, he still would have done both of them. I feel like this is kind of like Sheduer and Dion kind of influencing him. Just like, just only go do the wide receiver drills. I could be looking into it a lot more than it really is.
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of it's kind of a mixed bag because he is the closest thing to Dion since Dion. But he's not Dion in terms of personality.
Yeah.
So you can't be your own person. Do your own
And
thing.
The person that I assumed that he was, that I thought he was the guy who would go to the pro day and do both drills.
Yeah, kind of the hardworking nerdy kid.
Yeah, hardworking nerdy kid. I feel like this showing was a little bit out of character for him, but again, I could be reading into it a lot more than it really is. Anyways, screw all that talk. We gotta go see what the boy is.
Yeah, normal. Star
development. Yeah, that's my bad, Chief. That's my bad, Chief.
We'll get a star, though.
Yeah, we'll get it next time. He's 77.
Yeah. Not
terrible for his first year. God damn, does he have great receivers to throw to? I don't think I've thrown a single pass to Garrett Wilson. I'm going to be honest. I think I've only thrown to Devontae
Yeah,
Adams.
you do have a thing for Devontae.
I like the way he smells. Just how it is.
Crazy.
So that was the pro day. And the other controversy that happened from this pro day, which I will get into 2 points with this, is after Sheduer's pro day, which I don't know if it was right after. Could have been a day after. Okay. The Titans in his camp discussed, and the Titans canceled their private workout with Sheduer Sanders.
Okay.
Now, there's 2 things with this.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think that they watched Sheduer's pro day and they're like, this guy stinks, cancel the workout. I think it's the same thing as, you're drunk at a bar or you're drunk at a party, you want to get laid. There's a girl you want, and then there's a girl that you can get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you keep talking to the girl that you can get.
Yeah.
Until you know that the girl that you want wants you, and then you cut her off. I think that's what it I think that's what it was. I think they were unsure about Cam Ward, so they kept talking to Sheduer because they could trade back and possibly get Sheduer Sanders. That's very viable. And then they saw Cam Ward's pro day. They went and talked to him. They did this, and then they finally decided, Cam's our girl. Cam's the girl that we want for tonight. So then they cut off communications with the broad they've been talking to. That's personally what I think it was. I don't think it was, Sheduer sucks. That's why we did that. The second thing, which I already got into, is I think it's now 100% confirmed that Cam Ward's going to flipping Titans.
Yeah.
First overall.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus.
Like I said, if you're trying to get laid...
It would be a wild pivot if it's not.
Yeah.
It would be a wild pivot if it's not.
Yeah. Calling off a workout with a QB, the guy who's going to go second in terms of QBs, and then not taking Cam Ward, the number 1 pick, and taking Abdul Carter, doesn't make any sense in my mind. If you're going to let go of this guy, same thing as the Bears. The Bears didn't, they were like, yeah, Caleb's our guy. We're not going to have any private workouts with anyone else.
I mean, Caleb.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but yeah, I get your point.
Caleb had a fat ass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, again, it would be a crazy once-in-a-generation pivot if they were like, nah, we're not getting either, and we're going to sign Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially...
Is it possible? Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers still on the board?
Is it possible? Absolutely. Will it probably happen, though? Unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely.
So...
Because I think with this decision to not have a private workout with Sheduer, it's like, okay, Cam's undisputed. He's going number 1, and he's coming to Nashville.
Probably. I would say that's a pretty solid bet.
So congrats to Cam Ward. Come along. Great fan base over here, I think. I don't know. Nobody's talked about us for so long. I don't even think we have a fan base.
That is the most Bills thing ever. A truck. An F-150 up on display.
Hell yeah. Let me
Have we heard anything more about Will Campbell's arms?
Oh, shit. I should have wrote this down. We actually did get more information about Will Campbell's arms. Apparently, there's something in the water when it gets close to draft day because Jalen Milroe and Will Campbell, their hands and their arms have gotten bigger and longer. I don't know what it is. They're hitting a crazy growth spurt. I should have grabbed how much it was. I think it was like 3 inches or something like that. Will Campbell's arms grew 3 inches or some shit like that.
That's super funny.
Same thing with Jalen at the Senior Bowl. He had tiny hands. At the combine, his hands grew like an inch and a half or some shit. Something in the water, man. I don't know what it is. I need some of that. Do they have some of that secret juice for your cock? You know what I'm saying? I'll take it.
That's funny. That's super funny that their hands grew and their arms grew. That's hilarious because, like, there's not really, to me at least, there's not really, like, a different way you measure that. Like, height, it's like, okay, shoes on, shoes off.
Yeah.
Full back extension, full breath, no breath, you know. There's different.
Maybe Will's been hanging on the pull-up bar or some shit, trying to stretch his arms out. You never know, man. You, Josh. I didn't mean that.
I didn't mean that. Dude, I'm so depressed right now. I'm like turning on the game because I cannot believe that Steph Curry has 3 points with 2.5 minutes left to go in this basketball game. I'm distraught.
Speaking of basketball, did you hear the news?
What news?
The year of the white boy is over.
Oh.
It's Joe over.
Talking about Cooper Flag?
Talking about Duke. Talking about Duke losing to Houston.
Rip Matt.
Rip Matt. That was the indicator. The year of the white boy is officially over. How long did it last?
March.
3 months?
I mean, what was before that?
Well, it's the year of the white boy, so it's got to start in January.
Oh.
It had to have been.
I guess, yeah, Cooper DeJean and then Cooper
yeah, because that was in
February.
February.
Cooper squared.
Yeah.
Cooper squared.
So, yeah, we got 3 months into the year before we got brought back down to earth. Year of the white boy is over. It's officially done. No more cool things for us whiteys. If we could all have a moment of silence, please.
Us whiteys. What's wrong with Stephen Curry?
I said a moment of silence
Talk
for the death of white people.
I only have to be half silent.
True.
It's crazy that they actually do halftime shows for this.
Yeah, it's not. The old ones used to be like actual full-on halftime shows with I forget who it was.
Are you sure you're not thinking of basketball?
Could be basketball.
I think you're thinking of 2K with Shaq.
No, there was a really good halftime show. I think it was in like 2K, not 2K, but NFL 14 or something like that.
Oh.
But yeah, so Duke did lose to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So now both of our predictions are chalked instantly. It's because we both said Duke was going to win.
Did I?
Yeah, you went with Duke.
Oh.
I went with Duke.
Oh.
And then you went with, I think I went with Florida, didn't I?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Who are we going with now? Houston or Florida?
Houston or Florida? I mean, either way would be great for me in my brackets. But Florida has basketball's version of Anthony Richardson right now.
They also have that.
They have a couple guys with a strap. One in particular, I can't remember his name.
I think his name's like Proctor.
Yeah.
Proctor or something. Like that guy can ball.
Houston has been a really good defensive team, to my knowledge, and has just been
they're big.
Has just been like they're a really good team. In college, it is more about the team, but also it's the national championship. So it's one game, and the cream rises to the top. I'll probably go Florida.
Cream rises to the top. The white boys are dead. All right.
Yeah. Either way, I'm probably going Florida. Let's go, Allen.
Florida. I was gonna pick Florida as well because of that. I think his name's like Caden Proctor or something. It feels right when I say it.
Yeah, the last name's right. I don't know his first name.
That guy can flip and ball. He's ice cold. I like that guy. If he's half white, that's great. That's awesome. If he's not, still fine. But maybe we can revitalize year of the half whites.
Yeah, I'll take Florida.
Yeah, I'll take Florida as well. I did watch Houston though.
Mm-hmm.
It was when I was in my coma, when I was sick and laying on the couch. So I don't really remember much. Besides, they have...
I saw them on the TV.
Yeah.
I didn't comprehend shit that was going on.
Yeah, they do have, like... I want to say they have a really big team. Am I right on that?
I don't know.
They have, like, two really big guys.
I don't really college sport. I think... I said this to one of my coworkers. One of my favorite things about March, and part of the reason why I refuse to watch college basketball through the regular season, is because I love going into March raw dog. Like, just filling out my bracket straight balls the whole time.
Raw.
Like, I love just going in there and just being like, you know what? I remember this happening in 2016. it's gonna do it. We're gonna do it again.
We're gonna do it fucking
Like,
again.
I love that. I love doing minimal research and looking at simply offensive or opponent points per game and free throws and just making a pick. Like, I love that. So I don't actually know anything about college basketball aside from I want Cooper Flag on the Utah Jazz because I'm a Jazz fan. That's pretty much it. So, all right, Steph's out of the game.
Isn't it crazy though that the first true upset was in the Final Four with two first seeds? That was like the true like actual upset because everybody thought Duke was just gonna smoke.
Yeah, it is crazy that it took that long to get like a big upset.
And it's not even an upset because they were both first seeds, but it just feels that way.
In a way, it kind of is, just because they were so like Duke looked so dominant. They had ran through every single team that they had come in contact with. So in a way, it kind of felt like an upset. Yeah. But yeah, to your point, it still is it's not that surprising in a way. Corner rout's broken. Throw it.
Son of, you got anything? We can just get straight in the UFC if you want.
Yeah, sure.
All right, pull it up. This is not gambling advice, but if you want to win a ton of money, listen to us. It's not advice, but we're about to be millionaires. That's all we can say.
It's not advice, but we think we know what we're doing. All right, so
we are making. Is it even a parlay?
Yeah, you can parlay it.
We're just choosing who wins.
Choosing fighters. Yeah. Where is it? I can't get it on FanDuel, so let me go to...
you do your thing, big man.
Let me go to the UFC. Hey, Garrett Wilson.
First time. Because they quadruple covered Devontae Adams. Only throwing it to him all game.
Volkanovski Lopez. So Volkanovski right now is a favorite, minus 150.
Really?
Over Lopez, 125. Do we want to start there, or do we want to start with some of the prelims, see if we recognize any names?
Let's go bottom up.
All right.
Bottom up.
So, we first fight of the night, Nora Cornell versus Haley Cowan.
Don't know it.
Don't either. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, don't know it. Marco Tulio versus Trayshawn Gore.
I have no clue. Prelims, I'm probably not going to know anyone.
Muay Thai boxing, uncertified. This guy has one name. He doesn't have a first name.
What is it?
His name is just Some Dairy G. Look.
That's hard.
That's sick.
That is hard.
He's just one name. He's a favorite. Minus 220. Let's go to the main card here. Dominic Reyes, Nikita Krylov.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
That's PI, ref!
Dominic is an underdog, plus 160. The guy he's fighting, Nikita, is 30-9.
All right, I got to lock in.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then Reyes is a striker.
Reyes versus who? Say the other name again.
Nikita Krylov.
I'm going to go Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes almost beat John Jones one time.
An underdog, plus 160.
Reyes is the underdog?
Yep. Yeah, he's the underdog, plus 160.
Man, he's really fallen from grace, just like me.
A little bit of a weight discrepancy, 213 to 205. He's lower. Got half an inch reach disadvantage. He is an inch taller, though.
Going up against the jiu-jitsu guy?
Based on what I've been seeing, all the what's going on, I'll take the Nikita fellow from Ukraine. He's also fighting for something more than us.
Nah, give me goddamn USA Dominic Reyes.
Okay. Another 6 set of names here. Patricio Pitbull and Yari Rodriguez.
Yari Rodriguez. Hell yeah. Let me see the pictures.
Yari is the favorite.
Really? Mm-hmm. Patricio has a belt in that picture. That's crazy.
I don't know.
I'm just going based on people that I know because I don't know the other guy. So give me Yar.
Give you Yar. He's the favorite.
Yeah.
Yar is the favorite. Pitbull is not. He has a 5-inch height advantage, a pound, 5 years on him, and 5 inches in reach too.
Damn.
So it's understandable why he's.
That's basically like an entire foot.
Yeah.
5 inches.
It's understandable why he's the favorite here. I'll probably take that one too. That seems like a pretty straightforward. Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell.
What are you taking? Do you know the story with this fight?
Mm-mm.
So Bryce Mitchell is like country boy basically.
Okay.
classic, like
Stand and bang.
no, classic redneck guy.
Oh, okay.
During this fight, leading up to the fight, he said that he believes his opponent is possessed by demons, and he needs to
Exercise him?
Yeah, he needs to exorcise him. And he's like dead ass. So he's fighting for something. He's fighting for something bigger than everything else.
Yeah.
It's bigger than him.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Records are very similar. He's the underdog in this fight. He's coming off of a KO. He got KO'd by Josh Emmett in the fight before that.
You know who else was the underdog?
No.
God. Jesus.
The other guy is coming off of like 10 wins straight. He's got 4 knockouts in the last 4 fights.
Son of a bitch. You know who else is undefeated? God. You know whose side God's on? Bryce Mitchell. Give me Bryce Mitchell.
The other guy's got KO, doctor stoppage, KO, unanimous decision, retirement, KO, submission, KO, submission, KO.
Jesus.
Split decision loss, KO, split decision loss, KO.
Damn, man. I can see why he thinks he's possessed by demons. This guy's a monster. This guy's a killer, dude.
Yeah, I'll take Gene.
If I looked at his record, I'd think he's possessed by the devil. KOs everyone, man.
He's got firecrackers for hands, bro.
Damn. So it's Jesus Christ versus Satan himself. That's what this fight is.
That's what the last card is before.
I'll take Jesus.
I'll take Lucifer. Give me Lucifer minus 320.
It's gonna win me money.
94 yards, 42% completion. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got it, dude.
Okay. The co-main event, Patty versus Michael Chandler. Patty is the favorite in this fight.
Really?
Minus 160.
I guess Michael hasn't won that much.
Hasn't won that much. 23-9.
No, since he's been in the UFC, he just recently got in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the champ in a different promotion. He was the champ for like 10 years.
He's coming off of 2 losses, a submission and a decision, a unanimous decision. Yeah. Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and he lost to Gaethje also as well.
Yeah, he's fought top of the top guys. Mm-hmm. Like he's not losing any bumps.
Patty is coming off of 7 straight wins.
Yes, but you have to think.
Or 8.
You have to think Patty is like the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
Who's got a lot of fans, so he gets a lot easier matchups.
He's 30 though.
Patty is?
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't know that.
I did not. I thought he was like 25.
Yeah, he's 30.
So I think I know where you're gonna go with this.
He's got 8 years on Michael Chandler. He's got 2 inches. They weighed in at the same, or they have weighed in at the same. I don't know. I like Patty's he's a psycho. Like he's a wild card. So I just don't. I don't want to bet against him.
There's gonna be a lot of standing and a lot of banging.
But at the same time, there's something about grown man strength from a 38-year-old.
Michael's 38.
Yeah.
When was he 38? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's 38. So that's tough. In this one,
for me, it's easy. I'm just a fan of Michael. I want Michael to win, so because I want him to stay in the UFC because he has very exciting fights. So I'm gonna go Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Michael too, just because.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
I think
if you were putting money on it, I'd tell you to go Patty.
I want to go Michael just because I think everyone has their fall from grace, and especially.
Who was the last person Patty fought?
The last person Patty fought was King Green.
Yeah, so this is his tester.
Yeah. This
is his first real fight, basically. King Green is like, he's a tester, but you're expected to win your King Green fight. Basically, you're expected to win it if you're the real
this
deal.
Poor bastard King Green.
You remember him? We watched. He was on the.
He's got a head tat.
Yeah,
not
we
even
watched
a face
him.
tat. A head
he
tat.
Fought,
a skull tat.
He fought when we were at Aaron's. So bro. He just fights.
32, 17-1.
Yeah, he just bangs, bro. But like, you're expected to win the King Green fight. Basically,
he's 38, dude.
So this is the real tester going up against Michael Chandler.
Oh yeah, he did fight Rufy.
Yeah, Rufy.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Roofy, you're expected to win your King Green fight. That's like the tester to see if like you can actually get real competition. There's always guys like that in every division.
I don't know. I think, where is this being fought? Miami? It's
Miami.
in Miami? In the U.S.?
Both of them are, well, one of them is married with a kid. So no hookers and blow.
No hookers and blow.
Patty has a girlfriend, but I mean, so that's 50-50 on hookers and blow in Miami.
Yeah.
You know, so he could come wired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun in this case to go Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I'm going Mike.
But that leads us to the title fight, Volk versus Lopez.
So I did pull. You can probably look at it too. Volk's 5'6", so he's my height.
Yep, 5'6", 5'11". This is us fighting.
Yeah, Diego's 5'11", but the reach is only by an inch.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But so I watched.
So Volk holds the belt right now?
No, that's an old picture. He just lost it.
Oh, that's right.
So this fight is pretty interesting because you had a guy who was...
Well, no, he lost it to Islam, and then he tried to fight for it again, Ilya...
Yeah, Ilya Taporia.
Okay, so he lost. Okay.
Yeah, Islam's in a... What weight class is this?
Featherweight, 145.
I think Islam's in a different one.
So then maybe he went up.
Yeah, Volk held 2 belts at one time, or he tried to.
Islam is lightweight.
Yeah.
So 165?
No, welter's 155, and lightweight's underneath that.
No, it can't be, because he's 146 fighting in featherweight.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. I was watching... So, Volk fighting Ilya. Ilya's 5'7". Ilya and Diego...
No, welter's 70.
Yeah, welter's 70, you're right.
Yeah, lightweight is 55. What are you saying?
Really, when you watch that Ilya Taporia fight, it wasn't like this dominant win. It was if Alexander was fighting a guy who did not have one punch power to where he lands one clean shot and then you're out cold on the flipping mat for 3 minutes, there's potential he could have won that fight. I watched Diego fight Brian Ortega. I think they're very kind of... Diego's definitely more rounded. He's definitely more comfortable on the ground. He has a couple submissions in there. He has more... But at the same time, they kind of fight similar.
He looks Swedish. I can't get over it. He looks so nice.
He is a nice guy.
He looks Swedish. He looks so nice. He looks like, oh, I'm sorry, I just knocked you out, but my bad.
What kind of accent is that? That's not a Swedish accent.
It's the same idea.
Yes. Anybody over the pond sounds like nerd. But I think, like I said when I was talking to you about John Jones and how John was kind of like the last guy to prepare for the opponents based on their weakness, I forgot about Alex. Alex does that, and they're extremely good. Him and his camp are extremely good at doing that.
Alex
Volkanovski.
Okay.
The problem is when there's a guy who is 5'11" and you're 5'6", and he seems to be very good on the feet. He throws in bunches, which just means he throws in 3 or more, which, me personally, I think that's very important. I think it's a lot more... when it comes to the judges, too, throwing in bunches is very important. I just don't know what kind of game plan they're going to have to beat Diego. Because he's taller, he's bigger. They say that he cuts a shit ton of weight to get down there. So
really?
Yeah, they said he cuts like 20 pounds basically.
So he's supposed to be fighting a welter.
Yeah, like they said he cuts an insane amount of weight to get down.
That does though kind of line up that he's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not a striker.
Yeah, because
you lose a lot of strength.
But he
cutting
was
that much.
Yeah, you do lose a lot of strength. But he was standing and banging with Brian Ortega very well. But that's the thing though is.
I think what it comes down to for me, if we're talking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus striker, although...
But he's not even really... Like, he doesn't have... I think he only has, 3 submissions.
But even... either way, because Volk is shorter, the reach is not going to be a problem. So he's going to have to punch up, but that's fine. He's a striker. He understands that. But really the thing here for me is that because he is shorter and he has a lower center of gravity, if it comes down to try and turn into a wrestle fight, where it's like, I'm going to take you to the ground, or we're going to get on the ground, and we're going to get into jiu-jitsu, the takedown defense, he's got an advantage there in terms of just the takedown defense because of his lower center of gravity.
Short and stubby is better than long and
right. Now,
thin.
if Lopez does get him on the ground, it will become an issue in terms of leg length, being able to just grapple in different ways. You just have more positions that you can get into.
Yeah, like I can't do back shots. because I don't have the link.
So I think
I'm stuck to missionary, basically.
So I think there's...
Yeah. I mean top mount. I'm stuck to the top mount.
So I think it's if it's a stand and bang fight, Volk I think
has the advantage. If they're gonna bang, who's gonna come out on top?
I think it's Alexander, just from striking.
I don't know, man. Flipping Diego, I don't know what it is about him. There's certain he's so fast. I don't know why he's so fast, but he looks really fast to me. But again, like I said, there's
something about just a wily Australian.
That is true. If Islam, that doesn't even count as a loss because you have just such a dominant wrestler who just only wrestles. It's impossible to even count that as a loss. And then Ilya, it wasn't a dominant fight. It was people, if you watch the fight, a lot of people said Alex was winning that before he got caught with literally one punch.
Yeah.
And was on the canvas for 3 minutes. So it's tough. I think it all does come down to their preparation.
And maybe he'll be more hydrated.
True.
His brain won't get knocked around as hard.
Yeah, this is in Miami.
Yeah.
A lot of water down in Miami.
A lot of water in Miami.
A lot of other fluids
Don't have to import. There's no extra tariffs on it. A lot of water in Miami.
That's true. There's going to be a Brazilian in Miami. What do you think he's going to get up to? Cuban ass. That's what he's going to get up to. That's what he's going to get up in. Is some Cuban ass.
Yeah, give me Volk.
I want to take Volk, but I cannot see... I don't know the game plan to beat Diego. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to take Diego.
Stand and bang, take it on defense.
Bang.
There it is, ladies and gents. I am hungry, and that's drunk. We're Buffet Sports. Thanks for watching the video. Of course, like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't. We're trying to get back into rhythm, but it's the off season, so there's not a lot to talk about. We're getting into some UFC. We'll give you guys kind of a recap next week of what ends up happening.
What we got wrong.
Yeah. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.